But this is a kid who had his own beliefs, who had his own agenda, who wanted to make a point, and he was clearly on, to simplify things, on one side of the public debate here.
What an
and I'm not,
a-hole.
Dude, this is so fucking insidious here,
isn't it?
What a complete. This is just unfreaking
this is
believable.
so like he's basically saying that this is a fucking political show trial here. He basically just comes right out and says it.
Judge Schrader is a man, a judge who barks, and we've all dealt with judges like that. For those who don't know him,
I knew it.
A lot of my
I knew it. I said this during the trial. I called this during the trial. This jackass has tried countless cases in front of Schroeder, and that is why he knew that he can get away with doing any kind of blatant BS, violating Kyle's Fifth Amendment rights, ignoring court orders, and that all that will happen is Schroeder will start screaming and do nothing. Yeah, by the way, some people I notice are asking in the chat, they're making comments like, oh, yeah, well, good luck next time you face Schroeder again. Or can the judge punish him for saying this? Yeah, he can. The point Binger is making is he never will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly the point.
And difficult part of this self-defense is this wasn't an individual that was at his home, that was defending his home from an intruder or even rioters. This is someone that drove across state lines with an automatic weapon.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God!
I know.
He's a lawyer. This guy is talking. What an ignoramus! This, you see, facts be damned. F facts. To hell with facts. They're stupid. Why do we waste our time thinking about facts? We just decided what the story is, and we're just going to go with that narrative. That here's a kid who drove across state lines.
I know.
With a gun, as if, oh my God! As if we didn't just have a trial.
What do you think this guy would say if we use the term alternative facts with him? What do you think his response would be if we said what you're talking about kind of seems like alternative facts to me? Does that term ring any bells to you?
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is the problem with the media narrative, because most people, they don't read articles. They just kind of hear headlines or they see headlines. They kind of get the vague gist of things. And the vague gist of things was Kyle Rittenhouse crossed state lines with an automatic weapon. And that's all he heard. He didn't watch the trial. He didn't follow any of this stuff.
I've never heard this interview before. I'm positive Binger doesn't bother correcting him on that.
Let's see. Let's see. I'm curious. I am curious. Come on, Binger. There's got to be a soul in there somewhere. It's your card is not a lump of coal. Tell me, correct him.
I'm not sure of the exact purpose. Maybe you can talk about that. But when all this occurred, he was just walking through the streets. He wasn't necessarily defending anything. And so it isn't that different than you trying to defend your home or your property than just walking through the streets with an automatic weapon? Can't you expect that there's going to be trouble?
Well, that's the argument I made. I do want to clear up one little misconception out there, Dave, that you just mentioned, and I hear this from a lot of people. There's a belief out there that he crossed state lines with the gun, and that actually is not true.
I was wrong.
Yep.
I was wrong.
Well, you were half wrong. He doesn't correct the automatic weapon part, but he.
Okay. I don't think he knows what an automatic weapon is.
Binger, he's trying to save his congressional run here.
He's not the level that I thought he was at.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry. He says plenty of other terrible things.
It's still bad.
Yeah.
This is a weapon that never left the state of Wisconsin. It was bought in a small town in Wisconsin. It was kept at his friend's residence in Kenosha. And when he came up that day, he did get it from his friend's residence. But more to your point, you're right. This is
he's like, that's totally immaterial. So let's just move on from this. More to what you're saying here.
Sure, we spent 14 months talking about nothing but that, but that's not really relevant to this. Let's get back to what you were talking about.
I know how he's a guilty white supremacist, right? Let's get back to that part.
Let's get back to the whole Proud Boys. Is Proud Boys even like white supremacists? Has that actually been established anywhere?
I don't know that it has.
I thought they were just like very right-wing tradcon types. I mean, I don't know if they were white supremacists or anything, but I thought the guy who was like in charge of them was Hispanic or something.
Yeah, he looks.
Takes it upon himself to arm himself and come down to a business he's never heard of before, whose owners don't even.
That's a lie. That's a fucking lie.
Care enough to be there. They've emptied out the place. There's nothing left to protect except for 4 walls. And you know, one of the things I tried to argue to the jury is this is an area.
I mean, buildings are expensive. I don't know.
Yeah, last I heard. Yeah.
Like,
Binger's like, he doesn't care if your house gets burned down. It's just 4 walls. What do you
just
care?
4 walls. I don't know. That's a weird statement. Yeah.
Usually there's electrical and plumbing in those walls. Binger, have you ever built a house before? Do you know how they make them? It's not just 4 pieces of plywood screwed together, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Area of town where we've got a daycare, we've got multiple churches, we've got small businesses, we've got a school, and he's going to protect a used car lot. No offense to used car lots, they serve a valuable purpose, but really, if you're really concerned about the community, that might have been like the 6th or 7th highest priority location in that area.
Dude, the spin doctor, doctor here.
I know.
This is insane.
It's crazy.
This is insane.
First of all, they were the people that asked him to be there. That's why they.
Yes.
Why were you rushing? Why were you rushing towards that church that was on fire?
Yes.
Because it was a fire.
Oh yeah.
Right. And that was what I was going to say next is that if Kyle was and all the people were defending a church or whatever, Binger wouldn't have changed his mind. He wouldn't have suddenly said, oh, well, I'm not going to prosecute him because it was a church. Because as you said, he tried to discredit Kyle for trying to put out a fire that was being set at a church.
Yeah.
Yes, he did. Yeah, great point.
And now he's acting like, oh, Kyle should have had like the bat phone and he should have been not like, he should have had like teams logistically protecting every part of the community to really show that he cared.
And he didn't call 911 either. Why didn't he call 911? They would have been there in seconds. They
weren't answering 911.
Yeah. But it's not his home. It's not a place he worked. There was no one inside. No one's living there. There's no property left really to be damaged. And I think we're
such bullshit.
It's also we already allowed them to demolish our entire city. We already allowed that to happen. So why is he freaking out now?
Yeah.
Dancing around the real point here, which is that this is a kid who had his own agenda. And this is the point of the trial that we couldn't get to because the judge wouldn't allow us to. But this is a kid who had his own beliefs, who had his own agenda, who wanted to make a point, and he was clearly on, to simplify things, on one side of the public debate here. And I'm not,
dude, this is so fucking insidious here,
isn't it?
What a complete. This is just
This is so like he's basically saying that this is a fucking political show trial here. He basically just comes right out and says it.
Yeah.
You know what Kyle Rittenhouse's agenda was? He said, I don't like my community getting burned to the fucking ground.
I know.
That's what his agenda was.
I know, but he's trying to spin it.
Yeah, he's trying to be like, Kyle had an agenda. He just doesn't like Black Lives Matter. He just wants to shoot these left-wing people. That's his agenda.
Wow.
This is so insidious, man. This is so terrible.
trying to criticize or defend or whatever either side. Everybody's entitled to their opinions, but let's not hide the fact that he was there because of those beliefs, and he was there to strike a blow for those beliefs.
This is fucking, oh
what,
God.
What are these beliefs?
I'm so fucking triggered here. He came out and said he was in favor of Black Lives Matter. I swear there's a Richie McGinnis clip where he said he was in favor of Black Lives Matter that seemed to disappear from the internet. Right. And now I'm curious if that clip did disappear, because I've talked to other people about it and they seem to remember seeing it.
He said it to Tucker. He said it to Tucker.
Yeah, but he did. I do recall him saying it before
that
the trial
night
at some point. Yeah. But
there were some right wingers that were upset about him endorsing Black Lives Matter.
But Binger is being very cowardly too, because he's all this is implicit. He's dancing around what he's actually trying to say, which is that he thinks Kyle is some kind of racist white nationalist or something.
He's dancing. I mean, it seems pretty obvious to me. What is he fucking dancing around?
You're right.
He doesn't want to get sued for defamation.
Yeah,
he doesn't want to get sued for defamation. That's what it is.
Oh my God! Can you imagine if Kyle Rittenhouse sued the DA for defamation? That would be so fucking based. That would be
so freaking amazing.
Oh my God! Oh Kyle, please. 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 Kyle goes back after Binger. Oh my God, it's like a Greek tragedy.
And it became this old, subtone in the trial of, these looters, these arsonists, these Black Lives Matters need to be stopped. They deserve to be killed because of what they're doing to our community. And it goes.
Who fucking said that? What trial?
No one thought that even.
Yeah. I don't know. Trial
You know what it is? That's what. If it was,
he was there.
Here's the thing. If it was the opposite way around, if it was crazy right wingers, he wouldn't feel that way.
Of course.
So that's why he's projecting as to how we must be feeling because of how he would be feeling.
Yeah, that's a great point.
That's what it is.
It's a great
point.
That's a great point. And that's exactly the tribalism I'm talking about. It's just what side the people doing the wrongdoing is on completely dictates how people feel about so many situations, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's looking at Rosenbaum, the 5-time pedophile, like it's his nephew. He's just willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. He's like, listen.
Back to the point I talked about earlier, which is we should be allowed then to give the other side of the story, which is this is someone who's associating with Proud Boys. This is someone who uses that gun in unreasonable circumstances, and there's an agenda here. So we hear one side, but we weren't allowed to hear the other side, and that's unfortunate.
Yeah, so let me dig a little deeper there, because I know you tried very hard to paint that picture. And quite honestly, just from an observer's point of view, watching it on TV, it seemed as though the judge was very critical of some of your approaches. And as far as I can tell, most of that criticism came outside the presence of the jury, but nevertheless, seemed very critical. There were a couple of issues that I just want to talk about. There was one, we talked about this video of Rittenhouse saying he wanted to shoot looters on a previous day. And apparently, obviously, that didn't come in, but you made reference to it during the testimony. And the judge was very upset with that, making reference to it. And he said that he had ruled on that issue already. And you had indicated that perhaps he hadn't ruled on that issue and that it was an open question. What happened there?
So first of all, I think your audience of attorneys,
I know he's got a terrible laugh. He laughs just like Kamala Harris.
Will understand what I'm saying when I say that Judge Schrader is a judge who barks, and we've all dealt with judges like that. For those who don't know him, a lot of my
I knew it. I said this during the trial. I called this during the trial. This jackass has tried countless cases in front of Schroeder, and that is why he knew that he can get away with doing any kind of blatant BS, violating Kyle's Fifth Amendment rights, ignoring court orders, and that all that will happen is Schroeder will start screaming and do nothing.
Okay. Wow.
He knew this all along. Because he's tried cases in front of him so many times, he knew that, yeah, you're gonna yell at me now. Here we go, get it out. But I still got what I wanted to get as far as planting the seed in the mind of the jury. And this is he just admitted that I completely violated Kyle's rights intentionally, knowing that Schroeder would never ever punish me. He would scream at me and do nothing about it.
Yeah.
So unethical.
He's just a dog barking.
Yeah.
Friends have been shocked at some of his behavior, but honestly, it's par for the course with him. Off the bench, he is one of the nicest human beings you could ever meet. But when he puts the robe on, like some judges, he changes. And I've been in his court. I've been yelled at before. It really goes in one ear out the other. So,
oh shit!
Wow.
Holy shit, the fucking news media is going nuts with this, and Binger's like, I do this 5 times a week. What the fuck?
And your audience is lawyers. They know what I'm talking about. You've seen that kind of guy before. He's just all bark, all bite, and no bites. I can do whatever I want in one ear, out the other. Boom. This is like, what I said Binger knew all along.
Yes.
He's like, I'm violating perps' rights 3 days a week. What are you doing?
And think of the total ego that Binger must have to come out. I mean, he's still got to try cases in front of Schroeder. He's still currently trying cases in front of Schroeder right now.
Oh,
and
I
he's
know.
Coming out on this like piddly podcast being like, I'm the big dog here. I don't listen to him. I'm not bothered by him. He's just a little yappy dog. Like, how's he saying all of this shit? He's not afraid this is going to come back to bite him in the ass?
It's unbelievable.
That is kind of crazy, huh? But I mean,
Somebody clip
Schroeder,
this, send it to the judge.
Schroeder was upset about how the media was spinning this narrative about him that was completely untrue. I mean, I felt like Schroeder gave Rittenhouse a fair trial, and even the defense attorney said, you know, he's known for being fair. You know, as soon as you are convicted, he's like known for throwing the book at you, but he's definitely got and I mean everything even the thing about the victims and the looters was fair, very fair. I would argue that the way Binger wanted to do it would be the unethical, unfair way. Even what Binger's talking about now, this ain't fair. This ain't ethical.
Totally unethical. It's totally unethical.
Yeah.
That was not unusual for being in that courtroom. So that's why I didn't really react to it, because I've heard it all before. To your point about
he's
that
almost
legal
painting
issue,
it like Schroeder was in the wrong. As if
I know.
I've dealt with that sort of abuse from before, but he's all bark, no bite. As if he wasn't completely just completely corrupt in the way he handled that case. It's specifically with respect to those two elements of violating Fifth Amendment rights and ignoring the judge's order, willfully ignoring it and pretending, oh, I didn't know any better. Oh, I thought that wasn't really decided yet.
See, this is what drives me insane, because someone like Anna Kasparian, who sits on the Young Turks every single day and talks about criminal justice reform and all these, you know, crooked prosecutors bending the rules so that they can get convictions against marginalized people. Like, this is this is the guy that you're idolizing, the guy who does this. Yeah.
Yeah. This corrupt guy. Yeah. By the way, some people I notice are asking in the chat, they're making comments like, oh, yeah, well, good luck next time you face Schroeder again. Or can the judge punish him for saying this? Yeah, he can. The point Binger is making is he never will.
Yeah.
That's exactly the point. That Schroeder will hear this conversation and say, that was really wrong of you to do. Don't ever do that again. And I'm going to scream at you. And now I'm really done. And yeah, okay, fine. It's not going to happen. You learn your lesson. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. What can Schroeder do aside from just
we could sanction him?
Can he?
Yeah.
He could sanction him left and right. He could theoretically throw him in prison in contempt of court for flattering the court's authority. There's a lot. You could seek to have him disbarred.
Wow.
Yeah. If he actually had any backbone. I just don't think
that would not, I mean, think about that. The media narrative is Schroeder is like this biased white supremacist judge that totally got Kyle Rittenhouse off. If Schroeder came out and threw this innocent district attorney here in jail for prosecutorial misconduct, think of the Joy Reid segment right after that happened, because I mean, I'm telling you, it's not pretty.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is Judge Schroeder can't really do anything.
Right. Well, he could, but he won't. He could, but he won't.
Yeah.
You need a new hairstyle. I'm looking at this now. You really look a lot like him, Adam.
Fuck. I could probably do that outfit for you guys. Maybe I'll turn my camera off.
So cool.
You should get. Do you have a blue suit? You get on?
I do. I have my blue suit jacket right back here. I can
blazer.
That tie is a little like my Harry Potter tie too.
There we go.
It is.
Motion hearing prior to trial was he had.
Fuck all of you. Fuck all of you guys. Fuck you all.
Indicated that he was inclined to not allow that evidence in. But he would leave the door open based on the evidence at trial. And this is something he's done.
And that's where he slipped up, because old sneaky Binger is going to come in.
I will say,
trials that I've
when
had,
I was
a lot of
trying to figure out what picture to use for this, originally I thought about using some Binger Wojak memes that were created. And I looked at them and I'm like, you know, these Binger Wojak memes look a lot like Adam Wojak.
Okay, everyone knows.
Keep playing. I need 5 minutes, right? I'll catch up.
Hi, you just listened to a clip from the Sitch and Adams show. If you like what you heard, you can listen to our live show right here on this channel on Sunday, starting at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. And if you want, you can super chat us. We read $20 and up super chats on the show and then do a follow-up stream on the following Tuesday where we read the rest of the unread super chats and interact with fans of the show. Subscribe to this channel right here to listen to the live show or to listen to more of our awesome clips.